Oh, I'm a bit puffed after lowering the drawbridge. It's not every day I do it. It's a hard job lifting it up. It's like 5 minutes, and then it's 30 seconds to lower it down. So, you've watched my video, The Smiling Conspiracy, and then you laughed at me. But then, you realize your laughter was not from happiness or joy. It was with disagreement. And then you begin to agree with me. Laughter is not a sign of happiness. You tell one of your friends, they laughed in your face. You smile with humiliation, then you laugh along with them. Slander me while you laugh more. You've forgotten it. You've watched my video on the eating conspiracy. It makes perfect biological sense. Every fact I gave you may be found in a medical journal or textbook, but eating is a good pleasure. Well, healthiness, eat, you weigh it up yourself. You want to eat, you eat. You cut it back, you will be much, much healthier. You've watched my video on the cleaning, the washing conspiracy. You understand now your body has these essential oils. You wash them off with shampoo and soap, replace them with moisturizer, synthetic stuff with poisons in it. You know this is wrong. But you go to work, your skin looks greasy, your hair's a bit greasy, people laugh at you behind your back, so you start to wash again. Okay, it's fine. Your health, your mental health at work, your physical body health, you weigh them up. It's your choice. So today, the smoking conspiracy. You think it's crazier than the last one? I've made some notes, but left them inside. See how I go. I might go grab them, actually. So, it's the first time I've made notes for a video. I've tried to do this one before and I've forgotten stuff. So, smoking conspiracy. You have been told smoking gives you lung cancer. The medical statistics will tell you, though, the opposite. It will say if you do not smoke, you are more likely to die of lung cancer. It is a fact. I have read it in many news articles. Search your Google News for it. You will be surprised. Smoking gives you some sort of protection from lung cancer. Lung cancer did not coincide with the use of tobacco. For hundreds of years, people in Europe smoked tobacco without lung cancer. Thousands of years they did so in South America, no lung cancer. It is the advent of the motor car that causes lung cancer. Not this. It will afford you some protection from the fume of the motor car. If you are female and you smoke, you have less chance of developing breast cancer. Search it up. You will find it is true. Perplexes the scientists and the medical specialists, as does the smoking link that is not existent for lung cancer. Bowel cancer. You're very unlikely to get bowel cancer if you smoke. Some types of bowel cancer you will never get if you smoke. Other bowel diseases do not occur in smokers. Why? Nicotine. Our brain, every single person, whether you smoke or not, produces a trace amount of nicotine. When you eat, it releases it because it stimulates your smooth muscle in your bowel. We all have 3 types of muscle. Skeletal muscle, it is under the control of us. I want to move my arm, it moves. Cardiac muscle, your heart. Some people can control it to a point. I once could, probably maybe still can. I have not tried for a while. But as an athlete, I would concentrate quiet myself, calm myself, empty my mind, my heart rate would drop. Below 40, when I was in my 20s, my heart rate resting was below 40. Whew. And I smoked. What are we on? Well, the nicotine, it stimulates your bowel. You have your cardiac muscle, you can kind of control. Skeletal muscle you control, bowel muscle you cannot control. It is the smooth muscle, it is in your bowel, it is in your blood vessels, and it is beyond the control of the conscious. But it is stimulated by nicotine. You eat, your brain says, let's produce a little bit of nicotine so the bowel can do its function. If you smoke, a smoker, after a meal, always desires a cigarette. And this is why your body says we need the nicotine to stimulate the bowel. And your bowel will digest your food much better with nicotine, extra nicotine from the cigarette, or a patch or some tobacco, you know. Okay, this is the most important one. Why have they been telling you it gives you lung cancer when it protects you from lung cancer? Huh? Because this miraculous thing, this nicotine, the nicotine molecule attaches itself to fluoride and to aluminum, and it strips it out of your body. You drink fluoridated water if you live in the West. This fluoride, it cakes on your hypothalamus, your pituitary gland. It stops it from growing, and when it secretes its essential hormones into your body, they must drip slowly through this caked up fluoride. So you smoke. Well, I smoke. This nicotine in my bloodstream stimulates my bowel. When it goes through my head, it gets rid of this filthy poison fluoride. And in my folds in my brain, there will be a build-up of aluminum from shampoos and crappy things like that. And this aluminum, it is what causes dementia, Alzheimer's disease. The aluminum attaches to the nerve endings, you know what I mean, and it cannot get its signal through, so you lose your memory. You cannot attach yourself to that part of the brain storing the memory. But if you smoke, the aluminum is stripped away from your body by the nicotine molecule. This is a proven scientific fact. People who smoke, on average, live 10 years longer because they do not get Alzheimer's disease in their 60s and 70s. They get it in their 80s and 90s. It's kind of unavoidable if you drink tap water, and, you know, the aluminum is just thrust upon us everywhere from our governments. See, they want you dumbed down. They want your hypothalamus caked with this poison, so you're a sheeple. So you are easy control. You are open to suggestion. You will just go about this, go to work, go home, pay your mortgage, go to work, go home, pay your mortgage, and then you are useful to them. But if you do not do these stupid things, you are useless to them. And they want you to die in 10 years younger, because you are less productive to society in the last 10 years of your life. Why would they want to look after you? They milked you, taxed you, and now they want you dead and gone. So they put this stuff in your water. They dissuade you from the only cure. They want you dead. It is well known that nicotine helps concentration. This is a fact. Okay. What does a tree eat? It eats carbon. It loves smoke. If there's a bushfire in your area, very soon the trees that have survived are thriving on the smoke. We are a carbon-based life form, just as all these trees. So I suggest that I am gaining carbon, and everybody's body is full of carbon. It is one of the most important. Well, we're carbon-based life form, okay? We're based on it. So if the tree is building its body from the air, I'm gaining my carbon from this. I think this is true. Semiagog, he has said, you will gain better control of your breathing through smoking. A smoker regulates their breathing better than a non-smoker. This is his thought. I tend to agree. Total Eclipse, he has told me that these gurus of the East, they claim to gain nourishment from the air through your lungs. And it's known, you take medication through lungs, asthma puffers and things like this. So it is obviously a way to gain things into your body. Of course we get oxygen from the air. Of course. What's a penny in a comment on one of my eating conspiracy, I believe it is. She says in Japan, and I have looked up the studies, that they have studied it for a long time. They find it beneficial just to walk in forests. You gain pheromones from the tree. So, this is another reason that I'm suggesting that I may be gaining carbon from smoking. I'm getting through this so much quicker than the last time. What? Oh, yes. When I was at Universiteti as a student, I studied all sorts of things. I did biology, human biology, chemistry, anatomy, physiology, mathematics, and astronomy, which was the biggest waste of time, I tell you. I believed it for many years, but it's all rubbish. But we have this cadaver. We have lots of cadavers in the anatomy class. One in particular has very, very black lung. This woman, this female sports science student, she asked the tutor, while she's looking at me, the only person who smokes in the class, she said, is this cadaver's lungs black because they're smoked? And no, is the answer. The lecturer say, this person's lungs are black because they live in a big city. A smoker's lung, she says, a smoker's lung is never that black. I wish I had asked her if a smoker who lives in a city, are their lungs this black? But the information I've got, I live in the country, I smoke, my lungs are cleaner than any city dweller. Wow, I cannot believe I've got through it so quickly. Okay, I'll give you a quick advertisement. Hang on. Look at this beautiful beanie, huh? I have quite a few, but this is the only one handy. My mother has knitted this. It is double knit, very warm. She sells them at the Esk Market in Launceston. I'll quickly tell you a story. My mother was a war refugee. The city she lived in was totally destroyed. These big armies came and clashed over it 5 times. Nothing was left. They find themselves in refugee camp. In the camp, everything is scarce. Everything, clothing, food, every single thing you can think of is very scarce. There's a rubbish dump. Hardly anything goes on there but socks. When the toe and the heel have been darned and then darned again, and it's just, you cannot do it again, they're thrown out. My grandfather would go there, and he would get the socks and collect them. People laughed at him. What's you getting that stupid thing for? And he said, you will see. And then one day, some truck runs over a motorcycle, destroys it. It's on the rubbish dump. There's nothing salvageable, or anything salvageable was already taken. But there are the spokes of the wheel. My grandfather unscrewed these spokes, straightened them out. Knitting needles. He gets all these old socks, undoes them, winds them into balls, and he teaches my mother, when she is a little child, 3 or 4, to knit. And she would sit there next to my grandfather. They knitted these beanies. Not one person that winter in that camp had a cold head. And she now, her father has passed, her brothers have passed, her husband has passed, and she spends her time, quite a deal of time, knitting beanies, for it reminds her of this wonderful time when her father taught her this skill, and they sat side by side for hours, knitting and talking. and so she knits beanies aplenty. If you want one, she will knit it to your color, to your head size. Send me an email, maitre.markscully@gmail.com. You can have it for $5 American plus postage, which will be $2 or $3, probably. It will be $8 or $10 all up. Email me if you want this. You want to support my mother. She just knits them for love. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the advertisement. I would be happy if you bought a beanie.